Man. Let's run the clip first because I'm gonna throw something out to you, and I kind of want to get you. It relates to this, but my thoughts right now are this is what happens when you have a culture where you have a problem and it's not being corrected. I'll just start there. If you don't police your own culture, then somebody else is going to police it.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. And I gotta say, I've been kind of blown away by the certain protests by a certain demographic of people. Now, I think the last thing I read is that DC is 44% black, if not
Yeah.
50% black. And the majority of the protests that I've been seeing have been mainly white people. I've seen a few people do it from, from the comfort of their own home talking about it. But as far as getting on the streets and protesting that, this is an overreach and, Trump is trying to go back after black people. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. Like there were people even talking about, and I never said this though, and I understand why people say it though, but that Kamala Harris was going to go after black people. But now we're seeing Trump, go after people, and it happens to be black people in DC. And look, I look, if Kamala had won the election, this you wouldn't be having this conversation though because DC would be burning. So let's just put that out there. And there was another thing I was going to go. Actually, let me let you get in there.
Yeah. So I started researching this, right? Because people try to make it about race right away, and I didn't want to get my emotions attached to it. So I did a
Mhm.
little bit of research. One of the things that I found out, the police chief in DC, Pamela Smith, I believe her name is, she made a statement that this was unnecessary because, crime was declining in the DC area. But the pushback for that came from Greg Pemberton, who is the chairman of the police union in DC.
Right.
And he said, no, those numbers, you're lying. I have receipts that you're adjusting those numbers to make you look better. And I have receipts to show it. So we're back at he say, she say, TR. And they're both on different sides politically. Obviously, the chairman of the police union is thankful for the assistance that Trump is getting, while the police chief and the mayor think he's overstepping his boundaries and it
Didn't
wasn't
the
unnecessary.
didn't the police chief have to step down or get suspended because they were cooking the
They
numbers?
so Pamela is the new police chief. There was an interim one before
Okay.
her. I did see that the interim got him up out of there. I don't know why, but that's what a lot of people are saying. What you just
Yeah.
said. I will say this though. I try to do my own independent research, and while it seems like violent crime is declining in 2025, carjackings and armed robberies are going up.
Hmm.
So take what you want to from that one. Homelessness is up, drug abuse is up, but other forms of violent crime appear to be down. So there seems to be some nuances with that conversation on how safe DC is right now.
Yeah. I'm gonna play a video. It's different from the one I originally was going to play. Uh, Let me get this pulled up.
So, as part of Donald Trump's military takeover in DC, they are posting all of these photos of black men who they arrest and posting it to Twitter.
Mhm. That guy's not black, but yeah, they're
This
black.
is insane because clearly due process has gone out the window because these are people arrested. We don't even know really on what grounds they were arrested, but they are posting photos of people, blasting them to the public White House account before they have even been convicted of a crime. I'm old enough to remember when y'all were trying to tell me that Kamala was going to lock all these black men up and that she locked all
Yeah,
these
she
black
said
men
it.
up. Those people are so quiet right now because this is just
They're not.
crazy.
If you think Trump's plan to take over DC's police department is about catching crime, it's not. This is about stoking white fear, making black people seem dangerous. The Trump administration wasted no time, less than half a day before posting photos of black men they've arrested on the official White House social media pages. It's a calculated move to stigmatize black people, especially
Now the
black men,
Pookies.
as criminal thugs to be feared. There is not even a single
Pause,
white man
TR.
that they have arrested and posted on the social.
If what they're saying is absolutely true, then we can expect the biggest lawsuit ever against the U.S. government. If they're because they're essentially they're saying that they're going through and just sweeping up black people that they find.
Yeah.
They haven't even done anything, right? That doesn't seem logical to me. Like how do you determine which ones you walk past and which ones you're going to arrest if that's the case? Because obviously a lot of these people are in DC saying the same thing. But I think later on we're going to show some black folks with the other perspective. So I'm gonna let
Media page, y'all. Here's the truth. Violent crime in DC is at a 20-year low. It's dropped since 2023 and 2024. White folks will think this is solely about distracting from the Epstein files, but the harm the stigmatization will have on our communities will be widely felt for Black people. They've been running this playbook on Latino.
First of all, fuck Donald Trump. Second of
Jeez.
all, to the Black people that are rationalizing Donald Trump taking over and militarizing DC streets under the pretext of crime, when crime in DC is at a 30-year low, you are part of the fucking problem too. And if it don't apply, let it fly. Okay, I don't need an announcement about how you haven't seen nobody say something.
January 3rd, 2025. I don't think Trump had taken over office, but whatever. I think those numbers, like I said, the numbers are cooked.
I'm telling you what I've seen with my own two eyes. Here is the thing. For anybody to believe that Donald Trump coming in with the military is a solution, and for anybody to think, even after all that we've seen from this administration, that it's going to only impact the so-called bad ones is irrational. The bottom line is the reason why Donald Trump is taking over DC is because DC is still a predominantly Black city. And he looks at Blackness and criminality as being one and the same. And so if you think that the Donald Trump that has told the National Guard, do whatever it is that you want to do to people, the same motherfucker that sat up there and wanted to shoot Black Lives Matter protesters last time he was in office.
I don't know if you saw the video about what's happening in DC and how the police basically, but Black people are under attack as usual. Okay. Black people need white allyship in person. Okay. All this rah-rah on the internet, we can't stand what's happening, da-da-da-da. Okay, prove it, okay? If you see something happening that's wrong, you should speak up about it. Black lives have always been on the line from the dawn of time, and I'm sick of talking about it, but I will never stop talking about it because we're tired of always being the ones that's doing the work, always being the ones that's on the front lines, protesting, trying to fight for our own rights.
He hates Black people. He hates Black people. He said terrible, dangerous cities like Oakland, Baltimore, DC, because they're majority Black population cities. He hated Black people. He got 4 full-page ads in New York newspapers calling for the Central Park 5 to be executed. Innocent Black children.
It's so funny how people just forget about Crime Bill Joe or Hillary Clinton. What is the word she used to describe Black people? She said it's something related to thugs. It is mind-blowing to see predators. Yes, super predators. That's what it was.
Predators.
Yeah. And she said super predators when talking about Black people. People forget about that. People forget about Crime Bill Joe that locked up a lot of Black Americans back in, either 90s. So you can say all this and, he's trying to federalize. Like, people don't understand, like, DC is allowed to be, have a mayor because of Congress. They tell them what to do. They control their budget. And if they want to federalize the city, they can do that. They have the jurisdiction to federalize the city. And so I know they're trying to fight it, though, but ultimately the Trump administration, they're going to win this out. They're going to get another, they're going to, I know the attorney general's trying, or I don't know if it is attorney general, but I know they're trying to fight it, though. They're not going to win. And it's like the people that they show that the White House was displaying, all these people were arrested along with their convictions. You should be asking, like, how come if he's going after Black people or Black men, how are Black women not committing crimes in DC? They're the only ones that, when it comes to Black people, the Black women are the only ones not committing crimes. Is that what you're telling me? He's only specifically targeting a lot of these pookie ass Black men that are being convicted for having weapons, drugs, narcotics, They're being convicted on that, and they did the same thing with illegal immigrants that they were capturing through ICE. Did I see a lot of people come out and defend that? Were there any black? I barely saw any black people at the No Kings protests. So honestly, though, I would hate to be a white liberal right now because you got to save everybody. You got to protest everywhere. You got to take off time from work to go protest. Like it must be exhausting being a white liberal because you got to save illegals, you got to save black people, you got to save women, you got to save rainbows. Like it must be exhausting. Oh
You
man.
know what's wild about this, and here's where the pro blacks might come for me a little bit. But if you can answer the question in the comments, cool. Look, if you don't like Trump, I get it. Fine, whatever. But here's my question for you. All those people by default were basically saying, "Ha ha, I told you so. We should have put Kamala Harris in office." Okay, fine.
Looks like right here, there.
What do you say to people like Jamal Truelove and Cherie Peoples?
Yeah.
These are both people who were impacted, black people, by the way, who were impacted negatively by policies directly related to Kamala Harris in her time in California. As a matter of fact, Jamal Truelove successfully sued her, the city of San Francisco prosecution department, and the San Francisco Police Department, all because of a lawsuit tied to her as a prosecutor. Now, Cherie Peoples' story is even scarier because Kamala Harris's truant policies put her in jail while her daughter was in the hospital on freaking life support.
What is he?
That's why her daughter wasn't going to school. She was sick.
Yeah,
So,
it was a sickle cell she had. She had like a serious disease.
I don't remember what it was exactly, but NPR wrote a really good article on her. I have to see if I can go track it, pull it down somewhere. And these are just the top two names that come into my mind. Every black person from California who tried to speak out against her was silenced while she was running for president. Let's be clear.
Right.
And this is why I can't rock with the pro blacks no more, because what you're really saying is as long as you believe what I believe, I'm a ride for you. But when you see other black people who are being wronged, you want to shut up and stay silent on them. Oh, let's just get her in office. She'll fix it. Nah. That stuff is done, man. That's why pro-black arguments don't make a whole lot of sense to me these days. And don't get me wrong, I still ride with y'all a little bit, but I had to distance myself at the same time for reasons like this. When y'all start doing stuff that's illogical and looking out for certain groups over others and doing the exact same thing y'all claim is being done to y'all and separating people into different categories, it don't make sense to me anymore.
Yeah. This is a video from 2022. The mayor, I forgot this even happened, but the mayor asking for National Guard help. Again, Mayor Bowser asking for help.
For stronger anti-crime legislation. So this morning, she went to Capitol Hill to testify before the House Oversight Committee about crime in the district and ways to reduce it.
Access to firearms is a national problem, and we need common sense gun reform. We also need this Congress to give the mayor control of the DC National Guard. We welcome your partnerships or non-public safety initiatives as well.
Mayor Muriel Bowser announced her.
Yeah. So they've done this before. New York even brought in the National Guard because crime was so bad. And she got zero pushback on that. I mean, the conservative side, people on the right, they called it out. They're like, hey, I thought crime was down. I thought crime wasn't a problem in New York. Why is she bringing in the National Guard because that's when they had those subway assaults where people were getting pushed off the platform, or that one woman that was pretty much lit on fire and no one did anything about it. There was even a police officer that had walked by when that situation happened. So a lot of people forget that a lot of these cities were asking, like, go back to like the Biden administration, they were asking for additional resources, asking for the National Guard. And you fast forward, because it's Trump, you want to act like, hey, there is no problem, that we're able to keep the crime down, yada, yada. Like a lot of these people think because crime is down, they're going back to 2020 when crime went down nationally for a lot of people because people couldn't go out. Like a lot of these cities, especially the blue cities, they were pretty much putting everyone on a curfew and making sure you couldn't be out without a mask. You had to have the vax card, like dumbass shit. Like a lot of crazy stuff was going on back in 2020. And so, yeah, a lot of crime did drop, but they want to act like crime has just been dropping. Like, no, before, before 2020, crime was still high. And now you're getting back to that number post COVID.
Yeah, and I want to be clear on something I just said. I'm not discounting people that have concerns with what's happening in DC. I'm not ignoring you. I'm not discounting you. What I am telling you is here's something you're gonna have to look forward to in the future. So this is a town in New Jersey. It's called Gloucester. They just passed a law, TR, that parents can now be fined and possibly put in jail for the crimes that their
Oh, yeah, I
kids
heard
commit.
about that.
And I'm telling you, you can expect to see more stuff like this happen in other cities. Because now, since the parents aren't accountable for a lot of what these kids are doing, they're going to make you accountable for what your kids are doing, which means now you're going to have to parent and now you're going to have to discipline. So that's what's coming next. I just want everybody to know that and be clear about that. Um, I haven't been to DC in a very long time, but I don't recall it being very much of a safe place. You kind of get the rundown, just like any other city you go to. Like, hey, here's the places where it's cool to go. Here's some places you might want to avoid after certain hours, and a lot of those places to avoid ain't too far from the White House, TR.
True. A few
We had
blocks
a
down.
compilation video of a bunch of black people saying that this was long overdue and we'll need it, but we really couldn't play it because it was music in the background. Maybe we'll share it on our social media page or something. But on the outside looking in, I'm not understanding how you're choosing sides on this. I really don't.
Facts.
Arresting a homeless man. What's going on right here?
This man is being arrested.
For what did he do? What did he do?
We're hearing that he was distributing narcotics.
Okay, so they're getting a drug deal off the street.
I don't want to characterize them.
Thank you, white apologist.
I don't know.
All right, they're arresting this guy right here. They say that guy just said he was arrested for narcotics, so he's either a homeless man or a drug dealer here on the street. There you have in the
I gotta turn
bag
the volume down
whatever
real quick.
he was selling. They put it in the bag, so he was indeed selling drugs. Right now we have the FBI, the police, Secret Service. We got about 8 agents out here right now, and there is the bag right there with all the money and the drugs that he was selling on the streets.
After he had been arrested, a protester showed up and went absolutely crazy.
Warning,
on law
headphone
enforcement.
bros.
Coward! 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 Cowards! Stay away from homeless people! You fascist clowns! Get the fuck out!
This
Nobody
lady just arrived and she is
wants
screaming in the
you
megaphone.
Nobody
I wonder if she knows that they just arrested a drug dealer off the streets of Washington, D.C. Wow, you got a lot.
All right, I'm gonna stop right there. That's too much.
I'm going to assume she ain't got to go to work in the morning.
Nope. Again, these are white apologists, white liberals coming out here, and they want this type of chaos in their city because they don't live in these cities. Some of these people are just paid. It's been proven that there have been paid protesters showing up to a lot of these locations, trying to instigate some type of melee, some type of riot, going after police. And we haven't seen too many though because the Trump administration started going after their money or the people behind that are funding a lot of these protests. And so again, that's why I'm saying we see a lot of white people just ready to go, jump out there and start going after Trump. And then we don't. And then with the whole DC thing, I have not seen. I have seen the videos of black people just saying, "Hey, this is a well-needed thing," but I haven't seen too many protests. Like you would think. Here's the thing: they have like the Wizards, and they also have the was it the Wizards and the Commanders? Okay, the Redskins. Those teams have a lot of black men on there, and if those men believe, because we've seen a lot of athletes go political, get into politics. If we are to believe that this is a terrible thing that they're doing, then why haven't we heard from any of those? Heard from the NFL, the NBA? How come we haven't heard from any of those people? How come we have heard from some of the top athletes that are that play for those teams? How come we haven't heard from baseball teams? The Nationals. How come we haven't heard it from any of those guys? Because a lot of these organizations. They try to act like they're about politics and racism, like the NFL puts in the end zone. We haven't heard anything from them. So that tells me that this is what's needed, this is what needs to be done in DC, and they agree with it. They just can't say it publicly, but everyone's quiet. We haven't even heard from LeBron James. LeBron James, he gets in on everything.
He tends to get behind some of these local causes. Here's my point though. Cities with the highest violent crime rates as of year end 2024: Memphis, Detroit, Baltimore, St. Louis, Kansas City, Little Rock. Cities with the highest property crime: Memphis again, Portland, Seattle, Washington, Denver, Colorado. Let me tell you what I see, TR.
Blue cities.
I'm not seeing a city that's full of black people. I'm seeing a city that's blue. That's what I'm seeing. So at what point do you as a Dem say, oh, why are we in charge of the majority of these cities with all of these problems? Maybe we need to adjust something on the back end and tighten up and get these crime rates under control. I'm going to eventually do like a red city comparison and kind of put them next to each other. Maybe we'll do that next week. But when you look at these top 5 cities in both of those categories, most cities are blue. I don't know about Little Rock, but the rest of these cities are absolutely blue, TR.
Yeah.
I never said anything about black people. And I've never, in the circles that I'm in, it's red and blue. It's not black, white, or whatever else. These blue cities, which ironically have the most gun control laws locally, are the ones that are dealing with the most crime.
Chicago, New York. Yeah, they have some of the strictest gun laws on the books. So
Absolutely.
this is a well welcome thing. I definitely voted for this. When it comes to like having less crime, I didn't get a chance to show the picture, but there were they showed it. Somebody, I forgot who it was, but she showed a picture of the victims, and there were a lot of kids that were on that page, victims of violence in DC, and this is just within the last month. So this is something that needs to be done, that has to be done, and I'm glad Trump is moving forward with it. And people that got a problem with it, start protesting. Like, start getting some of your woke actors and teams, start having them come out and do something about it. And the thing is, they've been pretty quiet about it though. So I hope Trump continues to continue push to get DC under control, and I hope some of these other cities, they start fixing up their cities, because they need to protect their citizens, especially Chicago's, New York, LA. They have the most smoke for Trump, but they have one of the highest homicide rates in the country.
Yeah, and again, Dems are going to have to realize that you're going to have to come with real policies. You can't play with people's emotions anymore. That didn't work for you last election. Putting people in front of you twerking didn't work last election. Wanting to put somebody in who, I don't care what you say, she was unqualified. I'm sorry, she was.
Facts.
Get somebody else in there who can unite and get everybody excited to go to the polls. Because we told y'all it wasn't her. Y'all knew she wasn't polling very popular last time, and y'all kind of pushed her to the front anyway. Kind of like the same thing y'all did when y'all realized Bernie Sanders was about to beat out Hillary Clinton. And then we hear things about Debbie Wasserman Schultz and Donna Brazile. Like, come on, man. Like, if you're going to tell me that your party is better, you're going to have to show me, because right now your words alone don't mean anything.
Exactly. So, all right, that is going to wrap up tonight's episode. Any final thoughts, MC?
Yeah, man. I just want to say I had somebody who listens to us come up to me and say, I'm not representing the marriage bros appropriately.
Hey,
my response to him was I can't say on here what I said to him, but I'll just say this: I'm married. I'm happily married. I'll scream that to the mountaintops, but I will never force that on another man. You have to decide if that's the right choice for you. You have to do your own vetting and put your own things in place to make sure that you chose correctly. I just said right now, matter of fact, we both say the opposite. Most of the time for men, it's not a good deal. It should be, but it's not.
Yeah, not today. So
it's a good deal for me, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a good deal for you.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't mind having some additional conversations about marriage and who it goes for, who benefits from it though. So maybe there's a conversation to be discussed there. So, but anyways, all right, we will